Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the New Vibrant You podcast. I'm Ginny Miller, holistic wellness coach, vibrant energy practitioner, and health, freedom, and truth activist. My mission is to empower people with information and tools that can assist them in being the most vibrant, resilient, and joyful version of themselves, no matter what's happening in the world around them. My guest today is the magnificent Paola Fejes. Welcome, Paola.
Hi,
yeah, I'm so glad that you're here today with us. We want to talk about all the beautiful offerings that you bring the world, as well as your take on what the real infection is that's facing the world today. So, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. Very happy and honored that you invited me to your podcast. I am excited, definitely practicing this radical expression that we need to bring out in the world, especially women, the feminine energy. I'm super excited, Ginny.
Radical expression. I love that. I haven't heard that term. That's
Yes.
absolutely what we need right now. Beautiful. Yeah. Okay, well, I will in a minute introduce Paola to you all a little bit more, but I'd like to first tell you a little bit about me and why I'm doing this podcast. So, as a wellness practitioner, I have a variety of tools and techniques available to help you if you're feeling overwhelmed, confused, anxious, exhausted, unfulfilled, afraid, or even lacking purpose. My favorite and most popular modalities are Psych K to quickly reprogram your self-limiting beliefs, the emotion and body code to release negative energies and trapped emotions from your biofield, heart math techniques, and bioenergetic scanning and tuning. You can learn more about how I work with clients in private, online, or phone sessions, as well as through comprehensive, individualized mind, body, spirit programs at my website, newvibrantyou.com. I'd also like to just share that back in July of 2021, I helped to form a local group called Health Freedom Monterey. And I've also become a volunteer ambassador for Children's Health Defense, RFK Jr.'s nonprofit organization. And our mission as a group is to empower ourselves and others through open dialogue and uncensored research so that we can make fully informed decisions regarding our health and lifestyle choices. We choose love over fear, and we take real and positive actions that are helping to create the world that we are seeking. And now I will introduce you to Paola Fejes. Paola is a healer, entrepreneur, and founder of Paola Wellness. She's also the mother of 4 beautiful children. She offers various holistic techniques for self-healing. Her career actually evolved from the conventional mental health therapist practice in clinical settings to now being a holistic mental health counselor, a ceremonialist, a curandera, and a yogini. She shares these techniques in healing circles and workshops, both in person and online. And these include bioDanza, therapeutic dance, Kundalini Yoga, known as Raviana, sound therapy, mantras, breathing and meditation coaching, ceremonial cacao, shamanic recapitulation, quantum energy work, and earthing, among others. Thus, weaving a creative, transformational process that allows for new habits resonating with a natural and pranic lifestyle, and where it is possible to connect with our inner light and inner creativity. And I met Paola through the Health Freedom Monterey group. She came to a meeting and as soon as she walked into our group, I knew I had found a soul sister.
Yes.
I felt very much in alignment with what she's bringing to the world. And I just love her energy. I experienced her shamanic healing circle and one of her workshops. And it is, well, transformational, but also just a very pleasurable, heavenly experience. I came away with great insights into what my mind, body, and spirit were needing for myself. So I highly recommend her gifts and her services.
Oh.
Yeah. So before we dive into questions, is there anything else you'd like to share about yourself or your mission?
Well, definitely, I will be honored to anybody that wants to come and give me a call if you want to know this. I am just so happy. I get up every day and I do what I love, and I have become exactly my true purposeful essential being every single day. So, and I want to help everybody else to do that at some point. That's it.
Wow. Yeah. And you just exude that. I can just tell by your your face, your smile that you're living your purpose. And thank you for wanting to give that back to the world, because so many people are wanting that as well.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So first question I'd like to ask you, Paola, is what is kind of your overall approach to healing and wellness?
Well, even when I was doing traditional psychotherapy, I believe every one of us is a unique being. We came to this world with very unique gifts, abilities, dreams, energy. Even our voices are just no other voice has ever existed in the world, in history, like your voice. So I like to work with people finding that uniqueness, remembering who they really are, and at the same time that you're very unique and very special. Also connect with, we are part of everything. We are part of the same spirit. Everything that lives and has lived is the same. So I want to help people find that connection with themselves, the true essence, and with everyone else. And it will be more like a connection instead of an attachment. It will be just, I feel connected with love. The love that will be that glue, the bond us together, but not attachment. So that way we can let each other be free and be ourselves no matter what.
Yeah. Wow. Isn't that kind of just the balance that we have to find? Because, we want to embrace our own individuality, like you said, and be unique and treasure that, and yet still feel connected without having to take on other people's stuff. And
Yes.
those of us that are empaths, I think you probably attract a lot of empathic clients who, you're taking everybody else's grief and anger, and the whole, mass consciousness sometimes can affect you.
Yes.
So we want to feel connected, but not so much that it's hurting our own spirit.
Yes, yes, and that's basically what I do. It would be help you find your own tools within yourself, like help you connect with that. It will be, I love working with groups because we are helping each other remember. We're remembering together. We're remembering this magic and this prayer that our lives are, and it will be that kind of work, like teaching the tools that I have learned myself, that I have applied to my own life. So you find your own unique treatment or self-treatment. Even if it's a one-on-one, I wouldn't teach the same tools to every client. It's not like, oh, okay, 1, 2, 3, here you are, here you go. It's more like, okay, what is going on with you? What is your true essence? And let's connect with that. And from that, you're gonna build yourself up. You're gonna heal yourself. And from that healing, you will find your own inner strength.
Mm. Yeah. And do you feel like after talking with you, they kind of get a sense for which technique or tool might be best for them?
Yes, and that's the magical thing. I have been blessed with many teachers, and I mean, if you like yoga, we will work through yoga. If you like dancing, we will work through dancing. If you like singing, we will work through singing. If you like just meditating, visualizing in silence, we will work through that. And I feel it has been just a true blessing to be able to be exposed to so many different ways to help healing. Even just breathing, even if you're a person that has a really hard time moving or connecting with your own body, just learning how to breathe right. And I'm talking, I mean, it's not about right and wrong, it's just about peace or chaos. And I'm talking about the breathing that really fills you up with life. That will change your life. Your life is like your breathing. Your life, if you breathe long and deep, that's the type of life that you're going to have. But if you're living a life with a really short, shallow breath, what kind of life are you really experiencing?
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I recommend that new bestseller called Breath.
Yes.
Because so many people just, they're like, what are you talking about? I breathe. I'd be dead if I didn't breathe, right? But
Yeah.
shallow breathing, and even I notice people when they get on their phones or their computers, they almost like hold their breath because they're just so immersed in something. And so they're not taking deep, cleansing, renewing breaths at all. And it has to become a conscious thing for a while. Yeah. And even 5 minutes a day, right, can make a huge difference.
Yes. No, and even if you go and learn with certain shamans, they will tell you that's the basic main thing. There is a thing called susto, and this susto is kind of like a fright. When we get afraid or anxious or we're under a lot of stress, if you think about it, our breath just goes like suspended and in, like, and you just feel this heaviness in your chest. And some shamans will just go and work with you, like telling you, okay, let go of this fright, let go of this freezing of your breath, and let's start breathing again so you can take life in. And that's how the healing will start with them. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's just basic cleansing, oxygenating, detoxifying, and basically that taking life in through your
Mm-hmm.
breath every
Mm-hmm.
single second of the day.
Yeah. So for people that, are not well, whether it's in
Mhm.
their mental
Yes.
well-being or their physical body, before they go run to pop a pill, they might want to
Yes.
consider some breathing, right?
Yes, yes, and a lot of basic stuff works like that. Sometimes you have a headache, you run and get your pill. Sometimes you're just dehydrated.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to drink more water. Take a
Yeah.
breath, drink more water, and headache gone. But we have been programmed through the collective mind about needing all these things that are not really necessary, and forgetting that wisdom within our bodies, within ourselves, to just learn to heal ourselves. Listen to
Mm-hmm.
your body and you will know exactly what's going on.
Yep. Yep. It's all within. We need to give the body some tools to heal itself. So
Yes.
in the right conditions, right environment, it can heal, I believe, from anything, really.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. And that was one of the things when I was doing psychotherapy. It would be all these years going to school about the mind and labels and diagnosis and all that. And yes, it is helpful. I honor all that knowledge. But at the same time, it's not just your mind, it's also your energy, your body, your environment, the thoughts and the emotions. They're two different things. One is your rational mind, the other one is actually your emotional body, your energy body. And we're talking about a lot of different things going on. They're interconnected, they're together, So I cannot isolate just your body or just your mind. And I'm just going to say, oh, okay, we're going to get rid of the stress. When the truth is that stress is coming from a multifactorial situation. Many things are causing you to feel that way, to experience that, to have that emotion. And at the same time, what are you thinking about what you're feeling? So now you have your thoughts, and then you have your beliefs are creating your experience. And then you also have your body, and then you also have your environment, and then I mean, it's so many things that I couldn't keep going that way. It will be trying to isolate something that is not isolated.
Yeah.
That is part of all these that we really are. And once you remember, then you start working on all of the levels of your being, and everything starts falling into place. It's really amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's why people initially that start turning away from the conventional medicine can feel a little overwhelmed at first, because we often, as health practitioners, we can't say it's because you got this Lyme disease or you were exposed to this toxin or you had this divorce, because it's never just one thing. Like you said, it's always a perfect storm of this upon this upon this. And if you're resilient and things are working in balance, you can take so much, but at a certain point you add one more feather and the person tilts over and you fall apart.
Yes.
So to correct that, to get back into balance, you do a little bit at a time have to start to unpeel the onion layer. And I think the foundational stuff that you do allows that to happen a lot faster than if someone just said, okay, I'm going to commit to exercising, an hour every day without addressing anything else. A lot of times they're not going to get results that they're looking for.
Yes, it's kind of on the basis of we're operating on a deficit. And the way that I work is, so you get to the point where you are, whatever practice you have every day, even if it's breathing 5 minutes a day, it will be adding energy and adding healing to your life, instead of just every single day try to catch up. And then you have this rollover of all these situation, like a mountain, like a hurricane of all these chaos happening in your life, and you're just always trying to catch up. So as you say, I mean, running, breathing, eating, drinking water is not going to do anything if we don't address everything else is happening. And then once we kind of address that, then yes, you're fine. And then you're contributing to your well-being. Instead of not being sick, it's about being fully in wellness.
Yes, that is profound. So I have come to the conclusion through my own personal experience with conventional healthcare that it's not healthcare, it's sick care.
Yes. Yes.
And so, to reframe it into, I don't want to just not be sick by taking things that give a band-aid to my symptom, but I want to be really fully well and thriving.
Yes. And I think we have forgotten what the real human state is. The baseline is happiness and peace and bliss and health and vitality. And we actually have been programmed to think it's just not being sick. As long as you don't feel anything, and you don't feel any symptoms, you're okay. But are you truly okay? Are you really living your life to the best, or you're just surviving? And I think we're at this point when, after everything that we have gone through the last few years, people is starting to wonder. And I'm so happy, because this is gonna start this big revolution, inner revolution. I don't want to just survive the day. I want to thrive. I want to make my whole life a prayer. Every single thing that I do, I want it to be this lovely moment, this amazing instant that I get to enjoy and get the juice out, not just not feeling bad.
Yeah. So that's the, many people have suffered in the last 2 years. I'm not going to minimize that.
Yes.
But I think what you're saying is there has been a gift
Yes.
in the situation, call it the gift of COVID, that it has made people reevaluate their life, their lifestyle. People that weren't allowed to go to work, they're like, do I really want that job? Do I want to go back, or do I want to
Or
find
like, now
something
I know
better?
that I didn't really enjoy it.
Yeah. Is taking injections every few months the way to stay healthy? Or is that maybe a little backwards? Maybe I need to prevent getting sick in the first place
Yes.
with natural means.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's woken a lot of people. That word is so overused, but people are seeing things that they might not have seen if we hadn't gone to those extremes.
Yes. Yes. And that's another thing about the recapitulation that you mentioned, is how do you perceive your life? How do you perceive whatever is happening to you? How are we going to perceive whatever happened to us in the last few years as individuals and as humanity? Are we going to take it as an opportunity? Or are we going to, get stuck in that feeling of being lost? And I believe it's an opportunity to do the opposite, to just really, really come out of the shells and recapitulate, put a new perspective, make a new focus, reevaluate my life in a different mindset.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Dr. Kelly Brogan?
No.
Oh, she is she was a board certified psychiatrist who was steeped in, that mentality of you write a prescription. But I think it was maybe 5 or so years ago, she wrote a book called A Mind of Your Own. And she did
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, she's incredible. She's done a lot of research on what psych meds really do to people. Is there really any benefit, and is there any permanent harm? And so she exposes all that in the book.
Yes.
But now with the whole last 2 years, she's been very vocal. Her and her husband, Sayer G, are two people that are considered on the disinformation dozen list. They had so many followers that were listening to why they were questioning the official narrative. But she's been talking a lot about how when you first open your eyes and see what's been done to humanity, why we're not thriving, it's shocking and scary. And then you go into like, God damn it, those, horrible demonic creatures that are doing that. I'm not sure why we're getting that feedback.
I don't know. Yes, sorry. Yes, I mean, it's definitely, especially people that works with in mental health. I think we have all seen the true damage. You cannot just use palliative care, give pills for anxiety, give pills for depression. I think you need to find the source, you need to find the wound, and you need to expose the wound, emotional, mental wound, heal it. And even all this about the disinformation list and all that, I mean, when did it become a problem that you will give a different perspective on things?
Yeah.
And then another thing to me is, I believe truth feels very differently than lies. So when you hear something that might not be in the mainstream, it might not be the official version, you feel it in your body when they're not telling you either the whole truth or they're blatantly lying to you. I think you feel it. And I think, I mean, nobody wants to be the one with the tinfoil hat, right? Nobody wants to be in the, oh my God, she is crazy. But at the same time, I believe that our true power is that capacity to know the truth from lies. It feels very, very different in your body. And we know the antidepressants and anxiolytics and all that. I'm not saying don't take them. But what I'm saying is, I think as a humanity, we need to evolve from palliative care with pills to just sustain us and let us survive, to the thriving humanity they were supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, I think we're on our way. And I think more and more people that have that ability to discern, it takes discernment, because there's, even within the so-called health, freedom, truth movement, there's quite a range of perspectives.
Yes.
From those that believe vaccines are good, and even Dr. Malone, who's the contributor to the technology for mRNA, he, has a certain feeling that these things that are being, released to people right now are not helpful, but he still believes in vaccines and germs. And then you go over to the other spectrum, where Dr. Kaufman and Dr. Cowan and Dr. Robert Young are saying, wait a minute, has germ theory even been proven? And so, there's a whole range of beliefs that you can pick from. And I use my discernment and my intuition, but at a certain point, I'm also trying to just stay open to anything, because we're constantly evolving as we hear more information.
Yes.
And I don't want to get dogmatic or like, this is the only researcher who knows the truth, right?
Yes. No, and even with all that, being for so many years in evidence-based environments, I believe that now there is this ancient wisdom kind of waking up, kind of getting back into the minds and hearts of humans. We are remembering that science is very, very new. And there are medicinal plants, ways to live and exist and coexist with nature and with the world. They work for millennia. And suddenly we have been doing all this stuff that we call civilization and technology and advancements. And the truth is, to me, will be the proof. How are humans and how is our planet really doing? Are we thriving, or are we forgetting the real basis of health and I mean, all that? When you say about the germ theory, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna go into this, but the whole the soap for your skin, is that really good? And is so many things that should be questioned. And we go back to the beginning, the radical expression. I think the least of it, I should be able to express my doubt, express my opinion if I have a different one, and express what feels true to me. I shouldn't be pounded down to like, no, this is what we need to do. This is what has been proven. I cannot disprove millennia of, ancestral wisdom that work for many, thousands of years. And then suddenly it's like, oh no, it's not evidence-based. I think science is very, very new. And I think if we go even into the energy, you work with energy therapy. If you work with energy therapy, you will see that right now science is barely catching up through quantum physics. Mm-hmm. We know we're energy. We know we are vibration. We know we are sound and light. And quantum physics is saying, oh yes, by the way, we are. Now we prove it. Oh no, we're about to prove it. But guess what? This was knowledge, ancient knowledge that was there already. Why not go back and say, oh, okay, maybe they were right. Let's do something with this.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of a cool thing if you are watching that cutting edge quantum mechanics, quantum physics. They are coming to the conclusion that everything is energy. Yes. And so there are great people like Dr. Greg Braden. I don't know if he's a doctor, he's a geologist or something, but he's done a lot of research. And Dr. Bruce Lipton, that are marrying the ancient wisdom of how to connect with source energy and tap into that universal knowledge. We can tap into the etheric field and the Akashic records and stuff. and then know that there is this science that probably most people aren't even aware of that is validating all that.
Yes.
I love that. Yeah.
I know. So basically is be open to it. Right now we are unveiling all this knowledge that has been there, dormant, hidden, waiting for us to maybe tap into it now, because human needs a little bit of a correction. The
Yeah.
way we're going is not the best, in my opinion. This is my belief. So in my practice, I will use whatever I feel in my bones as the truth of something to help humanity thrive.
Beautiful. And so, that's what's cool, is that there are so many, I mean, every time I think I've heard it all and seen every kind of practice out there, someone introduces me to something new.
Yes.
And so there's so many choices, and rather than get overwhelmed, you tap into, does that resonate with me? Does that feel good? Am I attracted to that thing?
Yes.
And then you find a practitioner that you resonate with and trust, and, get a little hand holding and guidance, and
Yes.
you can do wonders. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Let's see. We kind of talked about why we need new tools in traditional psychotherapy rather than medications.
Yes.
And we kind of talked about what's going on in these times, but you actually have brilliantly stated what the real or the true infection is that we're dealing with. Do you want to talk a little bit more about what you mean by that?
Yes. So yeah, this is what I have been expressing as of late a lot. I don't think it's the diseases. I don't think it's the crisis in the weather and all that. I think it's not what is happening. I think it is fear. I think it's the fear that we feel in front of what is happening. And this goes back to this, the way that I work with the belief, the thoughts are things. Thoughts have certain energy, certain vibration. And when you are vibrating in this energy of fear, it is very different. If you're afraid, your immunological system is gonna take a hit. You might get sick easier than if you were not afraid. Mm-hmm. If you are afraid, your body, your central nervous systems, your sympathetic and parasympathetic systems, they're all up in arms. You cannot just calm down. Or you're either frozen or you're just ready to fight at any minute, and you're fighting with yourself, you're fighting with everyone around you. Or the other side of the spectrum is you're just frozen and numb. You don't want to feel anything. Why? Because being afraid is just so detrimental. If you are not conscious of your fear, if you're not conscious of this, it will oxidate your body. Can you like start this process of decay within yourself? Your vitality, your energy will go down. Why? Because you're so busy using your energy to be afraid, to feed the thoughts that justify your feelings of fear. Mm-hmm. And I think that right now that's what happens a lot with the media. You watch the news and you just feel the whole world is blowing up.
Yeah.
And it's toxic. And I think we have forgotten in the main media, this mainstream thought, the value of our life, the value of every being that shares the planet with us. And we're so afraid of that. Why? Because we're not really living our lives. So yes, it's gonna be very, very scary. Any second something can happen to you and you're gone. Why? Because you did not really live your life. So you will be afraid of getting sick. You're feeling like you barely survive, and then you get sick. Like, I will be really afraid. So I think it's this whole, and I'm gonna say it, I feel it's like this whole fear mongering everywhere that we look. Yeah. And fear is really contagious. Fear is insidious and infectious. I start being afraid, and then my children are going to feel afraid. I start being afraid, and my neighbors are going to be afraid. And all I talk about is what am I afraid of, and how I see everything just so negative and dark and without hope. And this is contagious. Why? Because we grew up with it. It's very familiar. The mind wants to go to what's familiar, not what's best, but what's familiar. And I think for humanity these days, being afraid is very, very familiar. And sometimes you even get afraid of not being afraid. Like, hey, there is something wrong with me? Why I don't feel afraid? Like, should I be more doing something else? So I think this fear is permeating everything and everyone. How many things do you do during your day because you're afraid, not because you value and honor your existence? So when we start talking about this, I think everything else will change its perspective. Everything else will start looking very differently. When I'm aware that I might be afraid, making decisions out of fear instead of out of what is true in my heart, my life is going to be very, very different. If I'm afraid, maybe I won't leave that job that I hate. If I'm afraid, maybe I will eat or take or inject whatever they tell me without question, because I'm afraid. And if I'm afraid, I might impose things on my children that I don't really want to impose because I'm afraid for them. So I think that is the true pandemic right now. Everybody is infected with this parasite of fear, this fear worm in your mind. It's like it's in your thoughts, it's in your feelings, it's everywhere that you go. So I think that will be the main thing that we need to heal right now, that fear. And if you think about it, it comes to ancient fears, you know, when we were little. I know this is like psychotherapy 101. Everything goes back down to when you were little and a kid and your mom and dad. But it's true, it's that time in our lives when we were really open and innocent, and we will believe anything that the grown-ups will tell us without question. So if you grew up with a family group that was always afraid, well, you will be afraid.
Yeah.
And I think now we also need to remember that we can reprogram that. We can reprogram the being afraid. We can reprogram what we grew up with, the rules, the domestications, the internalizations of the way that we grew up. We are not supposed to be afraid all the time as humans. I mean, yes, at some point we had to go out and hunt for our food and gather. It might be dangerous and you might not come back. And yes, it is instinctual, it's survival. But I think now is the time. We need to get out of the survival mode. They've been afraid of the dark, they've been afraid of the unknown, they've been afraid of the different and the new. And we need to step into the, I'm going to just really, really experience life. What do you want to do? I mean, we are fragile. Our human body is very fragile. But you do have this superpower as a human, and that is the power of the choice. Do you choose to be afraid every single day of your life? Because no matter what, we are all gonna die. We don't know when, we don't know how, but we're all going there. That's like a warranty. And I know in this country, people don't like to talk about that much. But it is warranty. That is the one thing everybody's gonna go through, the transition of death. So do you choose to live your life in fear, or do you choose to live whatever life you get to live just in bliss, in happiness? And I'm not gonna say going to the triple extreme sports if you don't want to, or go jump off a plane. I mean, I'm talking about just this balance of having an adventurous life that you enjoy, and you do things because you want to, with forgetting about the fear of the unknown. And the other choice is just a very boring shelter life where you're scared to do anything. You're scared of love, you're scared of connection, you're scared of learning new things, you're scared of accepting different and new stuff, you're scared of going out and about in nature, just the basic human need of being out in communion with nature. And how many people don't really want to go out because they're afraid. So that's my take right now. That is basically what I'm focusing my work on, like just, and not fighting it. I'm not fighting the fear. It's more like transforming it through reminding people of the true power, the power of choice. How do you choose to experience whatever is happening?
Yeah. Oh boy, that's big. And so I think that's when the tools that you have, and I have some of these tools as well that can assist with that transformation,
Yes.
can come into play, because someone can intellectually understand what we're saying and be like, okay, yes, I do not want to be in fear anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I want to grow. I want to transform, ascend, all that.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it's really
Yeah.
difficult or impossible to do it just through sheer will, right? How do I do it?
Yes.
So there are so many processes and techniques that have been able to get down into the subconscious mind, which is where a lot of these things, are programmed up to age 7. They're hardwired, like our brain is our computer, and we have to use some kind of process or method or technique or plant material that can help us to take out the old and put in the new program.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and I was gonna share that. So I am so passionate about Kundalini Yoga. I mean, right now, just like going around telling people if they want to learn Kundalini Yoga. I think it's a type of yoga that's an umbrella to all the yogas. And it's definitely that, like updating your software, updating your neural pathways, updating all these wounding in your nervous system, and really giving you this softness to be loving and love, but with nerves of steel. I think that right now these times need nerves of steel, a very, very peaceful mind, because if you let it, your phone will drive you crazy.
Oh yeah.
Like so many texts and emails and things and Instagram, and it's just so much, and it's easy to get overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
But as you say, there are techniques, and Kundalini Yoga is one of them. I think it's one of my favorites. With the plant medicine, I work with cacao. Cacao has come back to the human consciousness at this time, because cacao works with healing of the heart. And I think that us as humans, we are very, very wounded in our hearts. Mm-hmm. So many times we have tried to love, and because of our own fear of all, or the other fear, we end up just hurting each other. Even our parents were hurting us without knowing it, even our siblings, our partners, our friends. How many times, because of this fear, we hurt each other's hearts? Mm-hmm. And now we live in a world where it's scary to fall in love. It's scary to love something too much. It's scary to be passionate. And I think plant medicine, in my case with cacao, has come back to heal that. Mm. And it is on a physical and energetic level. This is when we start like getting, like one of my friends said, like we're starting to get all woo-woo. But I think this is the time for woo-woo. Okay. Yeah. Everything that we have done up to now, I can have you 10 years in psychotherapy once a week, and we will be ruminating, rehashing the same wound. Yeah. Why not use something that will kickstart the healing? Yeah. And will definitely reconfigure your brain and your heart. And then you're going to see things differently, and you're going to be able to love again freely and be able to receive love back. I think what humanity needs right now. Mm. And also, you know, a lot of people will laugh like, okay, you cannot love and lie your weight out of everything. You know what? Maybe you can. And I'm gonna make my life an experiment, a big long experiment, trying to see if I can really truly, you know, get myself out of situations just with life and love.
Yeah, well, sometimes that's the best service that you can offer the planet, is to be the way, show the way, be what you would like for everybody. You're the example. And
Yeah.
so people can look and go, oh, that's what I want. I want to be in love and light and joy like Paola. And then they'll ask for help so they can get there too.
No, yes, I think it's more than what we do. More than what we do is what we become. I think your presence, your energy, when you remind people that you can love them unconditionally, especially people that don't remember how special and amazing they are, no matter what. No matter what you've done, no matter what has happened, you are still, you know, a lovable human. I work in a maximum security prison at some point in New York.
Oh my.
And I mean, this was a maximum security prison for women. So you can imagine what kind of crimes women committed. And but then at the end of it, as you say, like peeling the onion, going to the core, then you see their wounds, what they went through. Then you not totally rationalizing, understand what happened or what they did. You don't justify it, but at some point your heart understands. Your heart understands that they're still there somewhere, a person that is redeemable, a person that is just going through learning. And once you take away the judgment, I think that would be the main reason to work with each other, to become someone and something that reminds everybody else around us that no matter what mistakes, no matter what things we did out of fear or anger, we're still humans. They are redeemable, they are lovable, and they came to contribute something to this world.
Yeah, there was a show on, I think it was Netflix, called Orange is the New Black.
Oh yeah.
They had like 6 seasons, and it was about women
Yes.
in you know, captivity.
Yes.
That had done, some of them murder, you know, horrible crimes.
Yes.
You look at them, they're full of tattoos and tough and just,
And
you know,
and
hard to even imagine how someone gets to that point. But they would take certain characters and do the backstory, you know, sometimes going back to their childhood or teenage years, or some turning point in their life where they were, you know, pretty good person and then got influenced and hurt, and that's how they evolved. And when you see it from that perspective, it's like, oh, I can have some empathy for this person and not just condemn them as evil.
Yes, exactly. Like when you get rid of the judgment, the right and wrong, I'm telling you, it's just peace and chaos. And I think a lot of people we may judge, but they just had a lot of chaos in their lives. And when you put yourself in their shoes with empathy, I mean, I don't know. Some women, I will be in concert with them, and then I'll be, I don't know. Maybe I would have done a lot worse than you if I had in your shoes.
Going through what you did, yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Important to remember. Well, I think we're getting close to wrapping up time.
Yes.
Yeah, this was a great conversation. So let's see. What we want to do first is each give us a little, we're going to give to the audience a quick little wellness tip. And mine for today is to try to get some sunlight in your eyes, optimally 15 minutes within the first hour of arising in the morning. So if you're in a place where the weather is not too horribly cold or something, getting outside for a little walk or something exposed, or sitting in your backyard, front yard, porch, 15 minutes, that sunlight is really important for the brain to know that it's daytime and to create the right type of hormones for you.
Yes.
That helps with your circadian rhythm. So you have the right rhythm for bodily functions to be at their best. If you cannot get outside, just sitting in front of a window and letting some light get on your eyes, that can be next best thing. And if there's really no light around, you can get a light box. So there's all kinds of little light boxes that you can get, and that can, for some people, help with vitamin D as well. What about you, Paola?
I love that. I love that you talk about the is sun medicine. Definitely grateful for the light. Grateful for that. And yes, it's so easy to just, sunshine. So basic. You don't need a pill for that. So today I want to share something precisely for the fear, anxiety, stress that you can do anywhere that you're at. You can be in the shower, in the car, walking outside, sitting in front of the TV, if doing a Zoom call. We're gonna work with a technique from Kundalini Yoga. Kundalini Yoga uses mantras. Mantras are primal sounds. We're gonna vibrate and heal ourselves with our own voice. At the same time, we are touching pressure points inside our mouth. And they're these acupressure points that we start healing. And then we're gonna do a movement with hands. When you do a movement by repeating sound and moving, you're also reconfiguring your brain neuropaths, and also more acupressure at the same time.
Wow.
So what we're gonna do is, first of all, we're gonna touch with our thumbs. We're gonna touch index, middle, ring, and little fingers. And then here, you can feel like pressure. You're doing your own acupuncture session right here, that's all. And then to potentialize, as all tantric yogas love to do, if you're putting the time, let's just get it all awesome. We're gonna do a mantra. And in this case, because I know everybody believes in different stuff, I don't wanna call any deities or sounds or anything. So I'm just gonna say it in English. What I actually do is I say, I am in peace. I am in peace. And then you just remember to breathe in between. If you feel comfortable with it, you close your eyes and then you just go, I am in peace. I am in peace. I am in peace. And it's just this mindset of, you remember in yourself, you are at peace. That's what you're willing to get to. You're doing acupressure inside your mouth. You're doing acupressure with your fingers. And I mean, you can do it 1 minute, 30 seconds, 11 minutes, however you feel like it. You can do it sitting, laying down, walking, and you will feel how your whole system calms down. This is for an emotional and mental, physical healing. Your body knows more than you know. We have this beautiful vehicle to transit through this life that is very, very wise, and we just need to remind it, like, hey, okay, I know, I trust you. And another thing, don't be afraid of people saying what is wrong with a person doing that. Because you know what, deep within, you're helping yourself. However you can help yourself, that's what we're gonna do. And that's what I'm sharing today.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Thank you. And if you were at work, you could maybe have your hands under the table if you didn't want people to see you.
Oh yes, I mean, you know how to do it, and it takes nothing. I mean, you have their own tools to heal yourself, so use them.
I am in peace.
Yes. Oh yeah, and even if you're in the middle of a meeting and they're freaking you out, you can repeat mentally.
Say it mentally. Yeah. Love it. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's give people some information about how they can find you. So if you want to give, you like your email and how they can find you on social media.
If you look me up, it will be Paola Fejes, and that will direct you to my Facebook page or my Instagram. And my handle on Instagram is Paola.wellness. Facebook is the same. It's going to be facebook.com, Paola.wellness. And through there, you can text me directly to set up a session 101. On the Facebook page, it will direct you to my WhatsApp phone number, so you can also text me. And I keep posting about my workshops and my classes and all my offerings. And I hope to be of service if you resonate with me. So here I am. Send me a text.
Okay, great. And so you do have a couple of things scheduled at the Seaside Yoga Sanctuary in Carmel, California. Do you want to tell them a little bit about the classes in the healing circle?
Yes, so right now I'm coming back to local in-person work, which is very, very exciting. This month, actually next Saturday, I'm gonna have a workshop. It's called Chambers of the Heart. And it's precisely about healing our wounds in our hearts and just open ourselves to love again. Every Sunday at the same yoga studio, I'm teaching a Kundalini Yoga class, 9 a.m. Sundays, 3rd floor of Carmel Plaza. And I'm also going to be offering a shamanic healing circle every month. It's going to be every 4th Friday of the month. And I am envisioning amazing stuff for this circle because my purpose is to unleash the healer inside every one of you. So please join us.
Yes, I will really be trying to get to those circles. And so you can contact me through my website, newvibrantyou.com. When you go to the website, you'll be prompted to sign up for a free gift, which is my Vibrant Energy Morning Routine. It's a PDF that you can download and learn some of the top ways that I like to stay vibrant and full of energy for my day. I also have the Health Freedom Monterey group. That's our local group in the Monterey, California area. And you can email me at Ginny, Ginny, at healthfreedommonterey.com. And whatever platform you're watching this on, please consider subscribing to my channel. If you like what we talked about today, go ahead and hit like and share it with people. We'd love to get your feedback, ask questions, tell us your experiences with all these cool things we're talking about. Yeah. And I just want to thank Paola one more time for being here. This was really incredible conversation. I know people were going to get a lot out of it and really enjoy it. And I'll just say thank you for watching, and may you enjoy a vibrant and joyful life.
Yes.
Bye for now.
Thank you.